I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowds going inside. But it was a very high energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different from Izaki Seminar, because mostly students were there for credit. The place was nearly full of a crowd of scientists and people who wanted to learn about the cutting-edge technology. Mitochondria's researchers had published a slate of papers in Science recently, and gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that's why. And were there any empty seats? Yeah. There's a couple right here. Right there. Let's see. Any noticeable characters? This one's noticeable. That one. This one's got a weird haircut. I don't know. Look at the cool little differences. That guy reminds me of Lupin the Third. Or Lupin? Is his name the Third? I've watched very little bit, but I like it. Little spike hair right there. Alright, enough staring at these guys' hairs. Found a single open seat at the edge. Dude, there's so many empty seats. I don't know what you're talking about. Found a... Wait, what? Hey. Whoops. The spacebar? I found a single open seat at the edge. I found a single empty seat at the edge. What? Why? What? What? Why did this happen twice? But when I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. Why did that appear what? I swear to God, if that has some big importance in the plot, I'm just gonna explode. But I doubt it. I think some error, I guess. That's weird. But when I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. Who was it? Dadu? Yeah. Moeka. You again? Mokaku was there, just speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I wonder what she's typing about. I once named her Shining Finger because she was because of her incredible typing speed. And she just was as fast as ever. What was she talking to? I don't even want to imagine. Cookie turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Lesitsky reached the podium almost exactly as I sat down. Wait, did we find another seat? Hey, it's the picture that we saw. Man. He's even taller than he was in the CGI. It's like us. What if he's us, but like American? That'd be crazy. But when I saw the tiny little girl coming next to him, the applause faded into confused murmurs. Well, what that? She's got a bad reputation? Maho must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, she looked like she belonged there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa. English? Ladies and gentlemen. First, it looks like he began to speak in English. We made eye contact with Maho. She began to interpret.
Thank you for attending this seminar. I am Alexis Leslin at the Mitochondria University Neuroscience Laboratory. I specialize in brain signal processing systems and artificial intelligence.
Why does his voice sound not real? Maybe just not real. It's a little robotic. Is this? I don't know if he speaks Japanese at all, but it's probably a Japanese voice actor impersonating an American person. Ow. But it's got that slight accent. I think it's like that Japanese accent to it. It's pretty amazing. I guess I don't need to read this. I guess I just listen. I'm just gonna listen to his voice at this point. And I'm his assistant, Maho Hiyayo. And I'm also a researcher at the institute working under the professor. I'm glad to meet you all. Yeah, I started remembering again. Yeah, it does sound Japanese for a second. It's to be expected. This was made in Japan, though. Yeah, right? Yeah. That was the same way I responded when I meet her. Well, that happened, yeah.
Without further ado, I'd like to introduce some of our cutting-edge research.
Research. What we're doing.
I know today's theme is a revolution in artificial intelligence. But I think you'll find this research will exceed your wildest expectations.
Yeah, don't Japanese people have like a trouble pronouncing R's? Like American R's? English R's? The artificial intelligence revolution. Often shortened to AI, There have been many different definitions for this word since its creation. For example, some use it to refer to the control system with self-directed learning capabilities, while others use it to refer to programs whose thoughts routines mirror humans. Isn't that like a Japanese accent meaning? It's more like a Scandinavian-ish. Oh, that could be true. But I don't know where it originates from, because his first name sounds American, but his last name sounds, I don't even know. Closest thing I can think of is Russian. If it's Russian, that would make sense though. Russia does have take a place. Russian has some importance in the game. See, it reads slightly different than the script we're being told. It's mostly the same. You can also just man speak. If it turns out he's gonna speak English this whole time, I'll probably do his voice. I looks like he's in front of the laptop that had been placed in the podium to the side.
This terminal here is connected to one of the supercomputers back in a lab.
I find it pretty enjoyable listening to his voice. It's unique. Oh, don't turn on this projector just yet. One of the staffers is about to display the laptop screen in front of the projector. You recommend keeping his voice on? It's very fun. We'll see. Some kind of important program must have been booting up because Maho Hyajo stopped them.
Sorry, this is all still in development. We haven't had time to develop much of UI yet.
That was like way different than what she translated. Sorry, this stuff isn't complete yet. The screen's filled with programs that aren't very pretty to look at.
Honestly, I'm a little embarrassed by all this unfiltered data. I almost feel like I'm naked here.
I'd rather let you see me naked than let you see these lousy programs.
And
What the crap?
I imagine you know how I feel.
If there's any engineers in the audience today, you know what I'm talking about, right? Laugh track. Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed.
Anyway, while this finishes building up, I'll give you a quick overview of our system.
Basic overview, and this was the basic idea of the system. There was another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on his screen. And at the top of the diagram with a Japanese translation for the general audience. The English translation? We went from English to Japanese to English with like a two-way translation. An analysis of the neural pulse signaling relating to memories stored in the temporal lobe. Why was there like a loud slam right there upon showing this? An electrical signal that travels through the human's nerve cells. It's used to quickly spread information between cells. Nerve bolts. Part of the cerebrum located at the side of the brain. Controls memory, judgment, emotion, restraint, hearing, and more. Also is used to access the hippocampus, which is on the edge of the cerebrum. Oops. What does that mean? I knew that title well. Did we? In fact, I was sure I could never forget it. I already forgot it. It only appeared twice. Wait, an essay. Oh man. Oh wait, it's in the backlog. What was it titled? Did she? Yeah, this was already published, right? She completely analyzed the nerve impulse patterns that govern human memory and used that data to visualize the memories themselves into data. And she had used that to invent the time loop machine right in front of my eyes. Though none of that actually happened anymore.
We've actually been featured in a few journals recently, so some of you may already be familiar with the project.
Paper been in this paper appeared in Science, so I'm sure some of you have seen it before.
It was proposed by a very talented Japanese member of our team.
Nah, it's basically the same.
Human memories are stored in the cerebral cortex, particularly in the temporal lobe, a little like fresh memory.
Cerebral cortex. The gray-colored external layer of the human brain is only a few millimeters thick, but consists of over 10 billion neurons and countless layers. The central core governing sensation, movement, and mental activity. Different parts handle different functions.
The part of the temporal lobe that controls the lighting and reading of memories is our hippocampal gyrus.
Hippocampal gyrus. I think I need to use this guy's voice up. Is he? Oh, is he not a main character? Not a main character. He is? Okay. Well, he's not main enough to have a He's not main enough to appear in the voice settings, so I guess he doesn't appear that much, unless I just missed some. Ferris Suzuha. So see, there's Suzuha. 3 new characters. One is Mohaho, Yuki, and Kagura is S. No, he's listed as other. He probably has he's probably pretty important, but doesn't appear that much. Or something. Sync voice. Yeah. Maybe he'll show up later. Maybe. I just on the list. On the list? I'd be surprised if he showed up later on the list. We have 2 people that we haven't even seen yet, right? Yeah. Is that the old picture? No, that's a new picture of them. I don't know. He kind of weird. Well, depends how many times he appears. Does he appear a lot? Like he might just appear this one time and then appears later one time. Like Dr. Nakabachi. No, he was the main character. Yeah, Nakabachi barely appeared. He was the main character. He only appeared at the beginning and the end. Yeah, Nakabachi had one. Weird. I'd be surprised if he appears up later. You're right. If I go all the others, we'll see. We'll see if it's true. Part of the brain that reads and writes the flash memory is called the hippocampus gyrus. Have you read this already? Hippocampus gyrus is found on the outside edge of the hippocampus. It's part of the brain that controls memories. Yeah, facial recognition is responsible for partial processing as well as the sensation of being familiar with a situation or place. Plays an important role in the memory coding and retrieval. Alright, you guys better memorize this. This is gonna be the test on Thursday. And then looks like he points to the diagrams of the brain and hippocampus on the screen. The brain functions by sending electrical signals between the cells called neurons. Yeah, he's not speaking at all. Nor does he... Wait, is he translated the whole time? Or maybe not, I don't know if he speaks English. Because if so, then... if he speaks English the whole time, then he never has his own text box. And this could be listed by... Currently, I don't know. If he does speak Japanese later and have his own text box, I don't know. But if he doesn't have his own text box, that could be why he doesn't have a voice setting. He only speaks, like, randomly. Well, yeah, there's no indication that he's speaking.
What we call memories are just those electrical signals, and they're controlled by the parahippocampal gyrus.
It just sounds so weird. It sounds like he's sped up, but it could be just the microphone.
In other words, electrical signals passing through the parahippocampal gyrus is what creates memories. That was a foundation for Kurisumakis.
Kurisumakis. Whoa, they pronounce it different? Is it Kurisumakis and I'm Kurisumakise? Man, I'm living life in a lie right now. Japanese scientist who wrote this paper.
And excuse me, I mean Mizumakise, one of our research assistants.
Oh, that's Makise. Miss Makise came up with an idea.
Electrical signals, signal patterns, the cerebral cortex.
Miles started to have trouble with her interpreting. She's getting confused. No matter how good you were with languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult. I once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. International conferences with a live broadcast from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. Really? Wow, that's... Whoa. If that's true, hot dog. The more you know. The more you know. See, this game just teaches you stuff. Get rid of those. Get rid of those books that you read in class. I don't know. Here in America, we like to read The Mockingbird. What was it? How to Kill a Mockingbird? Popular one right there. Let's get rid of that. Let's put Steins Gate in there. But it's a win-win. Or maybe was she having trouble because Kurisu's name came up? Dr. Luskin and God, how do you pronounce that? Be into the future. Well, aren't they like kind of old? Like, these are just a cooler form of a book if you really think about it. I mean, Leskinen. Thank you, Leskinen. So he was having trouble and cut himself off. I'm sorry.
Mizumakise focused on the patterns entering and exiting the parahippocampal gyrus. By analyzing those patterns, she was able to gather data on which memories in the cerebral cortex they corresponded to. This data allowed her to take the analog memory signals and convert them into a digital combination of electrical signal patterns, which form the basis of this theory.
This, oh, dude, I just realized that why the text isn't sync with what he's saying is because there's a delay, because when you translate, you can't translate the same time they speak. You have to wait a little bit to process it.
Mizumakishi published her research in several journals.
Man, I can't imagine live translating. It's not kind of hard. But that's how they train for it.
And now, based on her theory, our team has developed a system for storing human memories as digital data.
It's going in one ear out the other ear right now. Wait for whispers to sweep across the theater.
In other words,
which means, yeah, give me the dub, give me the in Japanese, please. Which means
this system allows human memories to be stored and accessed on computers.
We can store and access humans' memories on the computer. Yeah, I think the Steam page, from what I know, AI has a big part in this game. Must be especially hard translating from English to Japanese since the order of sentences are completely different. Oh yeah, they are, aren't they? I wonder if that's why. No, I don't know. So, sometimes what he says and what Maho translates are slightly different. Either it was just like realistic on how it would be translated, or it's just an error in order. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not translating. This was turned into a low roar. Soon after her death, Kuchi's research was being carried on. Of course, maybe it was natural that it would be. That was a basic theory for time looping, which I had proven myself. Even I could never prove it to anyone else in the Alpha World line. My memories had been turned into data and stored on the computer. There was no doubt about that. What Dr. Luskin was talking about right now was the basic technology required for that process.
At present, we are attempting to apply this research to two major projects. The first is medical treatment.
I think he started with the word present in the very being the same. In ASL, I'll tell you, you shut the very first word you shut the sentence is usually time. It's weird. How about we just take all languages and make them the same? Isn't grammar things in Japanese that don't have English equivalent, vice versa? Yeah. Which language was it? Was it German or Russian that don't have the word the? Are they? I think it's Russian that doesn't have the word the. And Germany has terrible grammar, something like that. I don't know. The sign of the projector has changed.
For this application, we've been cooperating with the Physiological Psychology Research Institute. By passing data from a computer through the parahippocampal gyrus, we can rewrite memories to the original brain.
Memories on the computer back into the brain.
Incredible!
Yeah. Incredible! Someone who looked like a grass in the front row shouted. Captain Luskin didn't seem particularly put off by the interruption. Maho continued her interpretation.
You don't believe it? I know how you feel. I'd be thinking the same thing if I were you.
If I were you. Incredible.
But let me just ask you. Can you imagine the incredible applications of this technology? We could treat memory loss in the elderly or Alzheimer's problems that currently have no cure.
For the symphonic therapy. Treatment intended not to cure the cause of disease, but to alleviate the symptoms and relieve pain. Painkillers and fever reducers are examples of symbiotic therapy. Aren't we like... I don't remember how much... a long time ago, but is it possible that the bacterias are eventually going to be like resistant to antibiotics sometime in the future? If so, do we have a backup plan? Let's find out when we get there. Yeah. You can brainwash people? Oh man, there it is. There's the just die. All of it. I'm kind of lost right here. What are you referring to? Just die? Us? All of us is gonna die. Yeah, boom, problem solved. You can't have a problem if there is no problem. I don't know. That's the plan. We save the Earth. The Earth. Yeah, we all die, and then we just evolve back into humans again, and boom, planet's restored. Mission success.
Anyone's memories could be backup as digital data.
I'll make it back up the patient's memories as data.
Even if a memory is lost, every time it's possible to access a PC and reinstall data in the brain. We could halt the progress of senility and dementia. That's the sort of thing we believe this research can accomplish.
It's gonna be like we invent memories that can be stored, and then big corporation takes it, and dystopia. Yeah, put a little bit of World War III in there too. Yeah, just a little bit. Just space it in there. Not your problem if we don't exist. It's not our problem. Yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. Big brain. Big brain. Massive brain. Huge brain. Okay, what is the antagonist right now? I guess we don't know. I guess World War III. Is that gonna be the main focus? Is it reverting World War III? I think that's what it was. Big memory. I like how it's capitalized, so big memory is like a proper noun right now. Big memory is a thing. Maybe it is. Something I don't know. Cyberpunk. Okay, I've never played Cyberpunk, so that's going over my head. It's gone.
Eventually, it would be possible to directly and continuously access data stored on a computer through the hippocampal gyrus.
Hacker memory.
So if the brain were to lose significant functionality, say through brain damage or atrophy, the system would essentially take up the slack of whatever part of the brain was filing. Think of it like an external hard drive.
External storage. A data storage unit that can be detached from a computer or cell phone or other electronic device. Some examples include hard drives and flash memory. Oh my god, the PC I have to the right of me, it's not next to me right now. But it is next to me though. It's really old. Like DDR2, I think. There's a slot on the memory on the motherboard for floppy disk. And I'm like, yo, how old is that thing? It's just one old motherboard. Another fun fact. Just think about external storages. Yeah, like that computer runs. Nah, it sucks. It sucks. CPU's garbage. Memory's garbage. Graphics card. Bon appetit. GTX 760 in there. But yeah, it's I see why it was left in the basement. It's like a farm. Yeah, got that already. A strange feeling griped the hall. Part of it was the shock and the feeling that they were witnessing the amassment of incredible technology, but part of it was the skepticism that a system like this could ever actually work. Part of it was the revulsion at the idea of playing around with a human brain like that. We're gonna throw a little bit of ethics into here. An excitement born of all these things passed from one member to the crowd to another. Hand. Dr. Leskinen raised a hand to encourage questioning.
I'm seeing some of you have questions before we move to our second project.
Our next project. This one project? Is the second one going to be the punchline?
I'll answer as many as I can. Go ahead.
Alright, are we going to shut up and be like, objection? Maybe not. Many hands were raised. I could tell that there's a wide range of people interested. Both young and old were raising their hands. Dr. Leskinen pointed to a questionnaire. Here's the first question. Sampling would be required when digitalizing analog memories. Does that mean any information would be lost? If we're taking data at regular intervals. Wait, what is that with that? The poster in the CG reminds me of the Homer Simpson image with the crayon up his nose. I gotta look that up real quick. I don't think I've ever saw that. Let me look up. An X-ray? His nose? It's in his brain? Crap. It's exactly what it is right there. It is true. It's entirely a reference. Wait, which one came first though? This is dementia. It's just a USB up. Plug it into the brain. That is the way. That is the way. I see. Yeah. I agree. Just stick up the nose. Put the USB up there. Shove a whole floppy disk up there. Are we gonna? I guess I don't know. How did we go from? Did we go from floppy disk to CD to USB? Is there gonna be like a next stage, or is like internal hard drive the next stage? It's M.2. It's pretty close. Just really don't need anything. I guess USB really is all you need. I don't know how you could improve the USB. Wireless USB. Wireless hard drive. Is that impossible? Probably is, but it's probably not good. The professor nodded as he listened to the question in Japanese and began to respond in English when the speaker finished. Maybe he was able to understand Japanese, if not speak it.
Let me rephrase that. You're talking about attempting to record an orchestral performance, and how you can never get it perfect even with the best lossless format, and how our theory should suffer from the same problem, right?
You're saying a live recording of extra, the WAV file. It's possible to record everything.
That's certainly a concern. In fact, it's one of the most pressing issues our research. Now, if the
WAV
intracellular
file.
network used simple on-off
USB-C
for neurotransmitters like binary data, it would be easy.
What is the normal USB? Wow. What is the USB that you plug into a computer? What type of USB is that? That USB-C is it? Was it true that the guy who made USB, I saw it on the internet, and I did not fact check it at all. Yeah, it's USB-C. USB-A? Oh. There's simply a lot of USBs there. Let's C. Maybe D. D's the next one. One I found, and then C is that one little circle one, right? Man, me and the homies love the circle one because you can plug it in either way, right? I think so. Doing universal something bus. Is it true that the person who made USB messed up? Something was the flipping of the USBs. Like he could have made it. You could have made it so you could plug in a USB both ways, but then did not. And so, universal serial bus, that's right? Yeah. What am I thinking of right now? Why aren't USBs both ways? That. Maybe not. I don't know if this is even true. Double-sided USBs. Maybe I read on the internet was not true. Who knows? Who knows? We made a USB. 1995. USB. Wait, do I have a USB-B? Do I have a USB-B? I do have a USB-B. I have a USB-B 3.0. Looks way different. USB-C? Yes, that's little circling. USB-D! Unveiled in 2015. Look at that. It's one photo. I don't think it exists. I think it's fake. USB 3.0. 3.2. USB-D is nuts! Let's go! USB 4. Oh my god, it's real? Starts up to 40 gigabytes. 3.0 transfers up to 5 gigabytes. Or no. No. 2008 was USB 3.0. My goodness. It's quite old. How fast is it? 500 megabytes. 3.2 is up to 20 gigabytes. Gigabits per second, and then USB 4 is gigabits. 40 gigabytes. I don't know if it exists already. That's unveiled. Specification was released. Okay, I'm just gonna go to advance. Just 0.7, 0.8 USBs, 0.9, 0.99, classic 0.99. Update released, 0.9999. Let's go. Alright, enough USBs. Just a little bit more. Maybe just a little. Alright. Yeah, I can take gigabits. 4.0 is around 40 gigabits per second. Just 9 exabytes. I don't know. Steins told me what exabyte was, but I don't remember.
After all, that's how our computer deals with data.
Digital.
Unfortunately, intercerebral transmission substance and signals are much more analog than they are digital. So at present, the best solution is simply to store data at the highest possible sampling rate.
Something
In
rate.
usual terms, you could say it's like something at 48 kHz is better than 44.1 kHz, or 96 kHz is better than 48 kHz. It's still digital data, of course, but the information we are gathering is as close as possible to the analog signal.
Little by little, the mood of the room was turning to disappointment. People were beginning to wonder if this was just a pretty theory that wouldn't work in reality. More questions came. All the questionnaires were skeptical of the professor's theory, and many of them seemed to be outright challenging him. I started to get upset. This was Dr. Laskinen's research, but it was also Kadisu's. I knew better than anyone that it worked, and the sight of so many people refusing to give it a chance infuriated me. Little do they know. Are these people really scientists? I tried to get myself under control and looked back towards the podium. Was she mad? She certainly looked disappointed. Dr. Laskinen was very polite with the rude questionnaires, announcing the problems with the theory. She was very different. Her anger was starting to seep into her interpreting too. Felt a kind of kinship with her. The question and answering session continued.
そもそもこれは医学的に無謀でしょう。デジタルデータを脳に書き戻すなんて絶対に不可能だ。正気の沙汰ではない。
From a medical standpoint, this is just reckless. It's absolutely impossible to rewrite digital data back into the brain. It's insane.
サイエンス誌に掲載されたあの論文も読みましたが、にわかには信じられない。
I read the essay in Science. I have to say, I don't believe it.
ましてや、筆頭著者が若干17歳の女性だったとあっては。
Specialist in the lead author was a 17-year-old girl. That was the one thing I couldn't ignore. Listen. Objection! Let's go! I knew it. I was gonna make that joke. I should have made the joke. There we are. Dude, we're wearing our black. Oh my god. We went from white to black. It's symbolism. Objection! Can I get a voice on that, Chief? I'm gonna need a voice on that one. Whoops, I messed up. Head. Finish right OST in my head right now. I messed up there, but yeah. What was I doing again? Yeah, did I turn it on, or did I forget to? Come backwards. Okay. I want to hear his objection. What? Whoops.
You got it!
Oh man, I forgot Japanese dub. I know the English version the best. I played the entire Stein Gates. First 3. I really liked it. It was quite nice. I'll probably play the that one they're releasing recently. It's not based on the series. The plot of the series. The two people stage and the entire audience. Yeah, give me some off-brand Phoenix Wright theme real quick. Is that faintly in the background? If there's gonna be 2 songs, it's gonna overlap. Why.png? I'll click on that, but yeah. Perfect. The 2 people on the stage and the entire audience all turned towards me at once. How do you know it worked when you haven't even tried? The world's full of technologies that people never thought would work, but they exist now because people overcame those problems. Criticism alone doesn't help anything. The whole theater went silent, but I didn't regret standing up. You, on the stage, Maho Hayo, Yao was staring back at me in shock. And as for Dr. Laskinen, dude, oh my god, he totally looks like a Phoenix Wright character. Maybe? A main villain. There's really nothing I can point to. I was gonna say that one Grant guy. That one police officer guy, but no, he's orange. It's like purple hair. Saw a flash of white teeth as our usual eyes meet.
Awesome! He's really something.
Awesome! Here's what I saw that. What? Huh? Well, why is he applauding? It just makes things embarrassing. Ha! Awesome! You're really something, Professor says. I'll translate the professor's words for me to hear.
Nonetheless, a scientist must always remain composed.
But the time must be being all good.
The only time
Alright.
when it is possible to shout is when your experiment is a success and you say, "We did it!"
We did it, boys! Racism is no more. Alright, goodbye, sweet music. Slaps. What am I thinking of? Dude, man, I want to replay Phoenix Wright, but that took me 70 hours. 70 hours. That's a little too long to replay. But man, did that game slap. I sat there over the summer. Took me 3 weeks to beat it. Had a big box of pretzels next to me on my left. Just huge container. Huge barrel of pretzels. The dream. We did it, boys.
And that should be enough.
That's all you need, he says. I'm sorry. I lowered my head and sat down. I want some pretzels right now. I thought I was calm, but I guess I let my emotions get away from me. I had grown up all these past 6 months. It's only been 6 months. If Khaleesi was here, she'd make fun of me again. I could feel the rest of the audience staring at me coldly. It hurt. If I could have left, I would have wanted to, but I was too interested in hearing the rest of Dr. Laskinen's talk
And anyway, moving on.
to move.
Oh, first, a round of applause, please, for our brave friend.
Round of applause for a brave audience member. Oh no, please no.
Enlighten what drives scientific progress and at the core of remarkable theories.
I was looking for the ones who advance science, come up with a really amazing
He may
theories.
even become the third Einstein.
Who's the second Einstein? Who the fuck is the second Einstein? Albert Einstein, a German Jew known as the father of modern physics, he developed many important theories, including the theory of general relativity, the theory of special relativity, and the winner of the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. Stephen Hawking, suppose? I can see that.
The second Einstein, of course, would be my slightly fuzzy assistant here.
No, psych. You thought. No. It's the small one. Stop messing around, Professor. Jonathan's chuckled. Wait, with making a joke? Okay, maybe yeah. Now then, I'm going to take a break from interpreting. The next interpreter is far better than I am. This is our second project and the one we're putting most of our efforts toward. Bubble boy. The Amada system. That's her. Dude, there's a 2D waifu of a 2D waifu. Oh my god. This is like 1D-ception? When she finished speaking, Maho walked to the back of the stage. Dude, his face! Look at that face! It's so different. It's a Chad. Literal Chad. IRL Chad. 2D waifus the whole time. We know this is the Steins Gate diversions right here. What's it called? This is Steins Gate world line. I had Dr. Laskinen's signal on the PC screen with display on the projector. Then I heard a voice. 1D, this D. D's nut. Maho question mark? What voice like this? Nice to meet you, everyone. Murmuring got louder than before, but it felt more uncertain than surprised. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl we just been interpreting. Okay, never mind, guys. It's 3D, not 2D. So it's technically still 2D. By the way, this model was made by the famous DrinkWorks Studios. Is that DreamWorks? You've probably seen that movie, so it was. DreamWorks. My god, dude, she's a VTuber. Oh my god, nah, bro. We've reached the VTuber phase. Dude, it's coming true. Are we on the beta world line, Chief? Getting pretty close to 2036. Maho Yao chimed into the back of the stage. The voice was done by a Japanese company, Yamana, using my voice samples. This was CG, beta world line. Yamana. Instrument maker that founded in the 19th century. In the 2000s, they began to develop and sell artificial voice software and DM. That's not music for PCs. Do they actually do that? I have no idea. I just know that my clarinet's made from Yamaha. American CG movie production company. The Yamaha logo is 3 tuning forks. CG movie, yeah. Look at that, DrinkWorks. VTubers are real, boys. VTubers are real. It sure looked real to me. The professor said something into the lab's microphone. And then the 3D model of me, how the screen opened its mouth. I'm Maho Hiaho. To be precise, I'm being based on the Maho Hiaho, who existed 78 hours and 22 minutes ago. If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear something slightly off, but it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I've ever heard. I've been listening to your questions, and I was wondering why the professor didn't introduce me earlier. I thought for a while that the professor had a bit of a mean streak in him. You've got that right. Maho Hayao on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated expression. And then the Maho Hayao by the wall nodded in agreement. She's agreeing with herself. Dr. Luskin simply smiled. What was going on here? Was this part of the biggest project? I don't know how you could top the first project. This was, I guess, artificial AI? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did. Many of you are wondering whether it's possible to extract a human's memories as data, save them, and then use them. You're wondering if that's really something we can do. Scan their memories? You scan their memories and put it into artificial AI? That's what I'm thinking. So I put this question to you. If not, what am I? I'm based off the data that was extracted from Maho Hyaho's brain 78 hours and 23 minutes ago. What did he just say? The professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho and she was responding exactly the same way. Professor, is it alright if... Professor, is it alright if I report that sexual harassment to the university? What? Man, we didn't even hear what he said. Man, oh man, what did he say? Dr. Luskin laughed cheerfully and responded to her. The conversation was in quick English, and over than half the audience can understand. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone. Well, the professor, he told this amazing system, which is based on my memories, to answer a question. It was, stuff like how old I was when I stopped taking baths with my dad. What? Or when I first fell in love. He said any of those questions should be answerable. Oh, geez, you don't have to translate my anymore. Dude, look at his face! Look at his face! This devil of a man. He knows exactly what he's doing right now. This man thirsty, bro. Will you stop that? It's embarrassing. I'm not answering any questions like that. The professor said something else, and then the Maho on the screen groaned and turned away. What a meme lord. And I'm definitely not telling you my credit card number. Dude, that joke's still popular back then. Let's go. That's a timeless joke. I don't even remember what kind of pajamas I was wearing a week ago. What was this? It was so natural I couldn't tell at first, but this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? It felt very different than a typical AI. I could tell you that much. It wasn't answering the questions it was given. And because they were embarrassing, was it programmed to respond like this to certain questions for the purpose of this demonstration? It was possible that it all was, but if that conversation wasn't programmed in advance, the rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion I did, and the whispers started to turn into surprise murmurs. Listen, can you do something about this little troublemaker? I know what he's trying to do, but it's embarrassing. The copy of Maho was complaining to the original. Felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking. Well, since the first little troublemaker, that is, Dr. Luskin, is having too much fun explaining what's going on here, I will. Maho walked back to the professor. I think everyone already figured this out, but Amadeus is deciding it's on its own what it can and can't talk about, and what it does and doesn't want to talk about. We haven't programmed any of this into her at all. I knew it. It's using the memories we gave it to make its own anonymous decisions. The Maho on screen suddenly took over for her. And there's another thing, which is the exact opposite of the medical applications we discussed. The research team spends a lot of time arguing about this, but I eventually forget about unnecessary information. Or rather, I become unable to access those memories, just like all of you. For example, the color of the pajamas I wore a week ago. There's no reason I shouldn't know this, but right now I can't remember it. That's because this information isn't necessary to my survival. The same goes for all of you. So as you can see, Amadeus' memory inputs and outputs are very similar to humans. The results surprised us too. We were currently researching it, but we still don't know exactly how it works. As Maho finishes up, Dr. Luskin took the microphone back. She resumed interpreting her as he continued the lecture.
However, what really surprised us was that Amadeus could intentionally lie.
capable of deliberate
Not as
lies.
some sort of bug or glitch. This is purposeful behavior. Lying is literally just another method of human communication. Amadeus examined the memories entered and has no compunction about lying to serve itself or others if it deemed that action necessary.
Don't tell them that, Professor. You can't lie without hesitation, or for conscience, you know.
I'm so sorry, and
So this one was cut off. You seem to be hesitating. Maho didn't seem especially surprised by this. Maybe she knew the reason. But the moment passed and the professor continued. And Maho translated his words like there were nothing shocking about them at all.
this has led us to some interesting conclusions.
Yeah, what are they? What are they?
For one, we believe it's possible for Amadeus to eventually possess a mind functionally identical to a human one.
Human side? We're just gonna replace humans with AIs? Man! It's like that one game. A soul? Should one of the leading brain scientists in the world really be using a word with such a vague definition?
In other words, to artificial intelligence.
Vivi moment with Vivi. You referencing the game Vivi? I did not reference the game Vivi. Man, it's just if you replace yourself with an AI, is it the same or not? I'm going anime about AI. No, I haven't watched it. Never heard about it either. AI. Interesting one. It's really good. Maybe I'll watch it. Just gotta watch Steins Gate. Just gotta watch that, baby. I'll think about it though. I'll think about it. I'll think about that, baby. The hall has gone very quiet. And it was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone tried to debate their own personal theories with Dr. Liskinen at once. I mean, the you before starting this VN is no longer the you of now. What? Maybe not. Okay, well. It's kind of different than what I'm thinking of. It's just the ending to the game, Soma. Can't spoil it though. it dealt with AI kind of thing. Like, well, I still think about it to this day. I keep thinking about it. I don't know why. Crazy though. It's got a great ending. It's got a great brain ending. Brain buster. Ball buster. Wikipedia.com. It was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone, yeah,